I had to tinkle. Apologies for being a full minute late. When Mother Nature calls, she calls, and I was running. All right, I tried to speed it up, but doctor says that's not good. You shouldn't rush it out. Let Mother Nature does what she does. So I did, and I stood there. It was quite a long stream, but now I'm here for this quite long stream. Oh, see how I wrapped that all back around? Hello, my beautiful and wonderful movie peeps. Thank you so much for being here on the Friday live stream. Look at how awesome the spooky set looks from the live stream setup, huh? Pretty cracked. Pretty cracked, right? Let me get this camera set up right. I think that looks good. I think this looks nice. Yeah, Spook Your Mama season. Love the studio. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, I really like the way everything came out. Everything's looking nice and crispy. It is so nice to see all of y'all's faces here today. We got a lot of movie news stuff to discuss here today. Let me get off to the side some of the things that we're going to be talking here. I usually have them saved on my thing, but it's not even popping up. What is up with that? All right, let me bring them up here to the side so I have them. Okay, some of the things that we're going to be looking at here today, guys, on this live stream, and feel free to suggest any more topics because I felt like we were a little light on some stuff today. We got, believe it or not, and Robert and James Gunn has talked about this. The Robert Pattinson Batman symbol has shown up on the ClayFace set. Did James Gunn debunk it, or was it another clever yes/no answer? We're gonna talk about that Super Mario Galaxy footage and trailer again, because come on, we's in that moment. And one thing I didn't talk about in my little breakdown video is the logo gives away some of the planets and places we're gonna be visiting. Can't believe I missed that. We're gonna be looking at a new photo from the set of Spider-Man 4 that has Ned and MJ. Theorizing on that. Doctor Doom first look here. A new image of Doctor Doom that we haven't seen anywhere has popped up, along with a little light show that gives us an idea of what's going to be going down in Avengers Doomsday. And of course, talking some Peacemaker season 2. Episode 4 now? I probably think I wrote episode 3 on the thing. It's episode 4, isn't it? Yep, let me fix that. Episode 4. The clickbait worked last week, but I don't think I have any clever clickbait. It wasn't really even clever, if I'm being honest, but I don't have any catchy clickbait title for that, so we're gonna have to think of some nice titles for this. Either way, thank you for being here. Chris saving me from boring afternoon. Well, thank you. That is what I do. I like to save you. DJ, get a job. From Full House? Is DJ in need of a job? What you talking about, Willis? That's not even the same sitcom. Well, I knew this was going to be happening sometime this stream. Did not think it'd happen that soon. Unk is unkening. We appreciate you, Chris. Oh, I appreciate all y'all. I got a job. Awesome. People just laughing, having a good time. And that's what we're here to do. Have a good time, laugh, enjoy ourselves. So let's not delay the funsies any further. And let's just go straight into the stuff we're going to discuss here. So, kicking things off, guys. This whole ClayFace thing has been rather messy, pretty wild, and I already gave my 2 cents on the whole situation with the movie. We can debate and argue all we want, whether Robert Pattinson will be the Batman or won't be the Batman. There's been enough evidence both ways. My stance on the situation was, no matter what it is, that is not the point of this movie. That is not what they're trying to do. We do have a Robin Easter egg, though. We got to talk about that. That's not what the movie is. James Gunn literally just got a script from Mike Flanagan for a really awesome story, gave it a budget of $40 million, R rating, and said, make it. But every time we get a new set photo, people are just like, Pattinson? Merger? Things happening in this universe? And it's become a little exhausting to where even I, someone that can believe the Pattinson merger might happen, is starting to just roll his eyes and go, I don't know what to think anymore. Okay, so exactly what I'm talking about here. Today on the set of ClayFace, we got this little trash can that's from the set of ClayFace. And here we got a couple of stickers, keep the streets clean, all of this, $100 fines, all this. And lo and behold, the Robert Pattinson Batman symbol from the Batman. Oh, it's happening! It's occurring. Oh, the internet went into a frenzy. And again, even as someone that believes that the merger could happen, I just rolled my eyes because it's another clear example of like, even if it is happening and I am proven right with my theories on this, a sticker on a trash can is not going to be the thing that slipped through the cracks and got everyone going, yes, place that sticker on that trash can because of the tracking shot where we reveal him in this rated R low budget horror movie. I'm thinking what a lot of people thought whenever they saw this is it was most likely a fan that was around or close to the set, because there's even like a signature from an artist there. So it feels like it could have just been someone who snuck their way. I mean, whoever took this photo might have actually been the one to have planted the sticker here and whatnot. And yeah, and then people bring up the whole Morbius situation, which I mean, I know DC is doing some funny stuff, but DC has not tricked us. The new DC has not tricked us in the way Sony does with with the more. I still can't believe this was a genuine thing Sony put out there going, Spider-Man, Morbius, they're gonna buy tickets. And we did. Some of us, me, we did. We did. They were right. They were right. But okay, we then had James Gunn address this, and people again are taking this as a full debunk, and I'm gonna be the annoying one saying this was not a debunk. This is clever James Gunnanese. If you speak it, you understand it. If you don't, you're just gonna believe it on the surface. He said here, although the trash can is from the set, I have a hard time believing the bat was put there by the art department. But if so, it never came across my desk. I don't have time to okay every piece of set dressing. And again, that's his entire statement on this Pattinson symbol on the set of ClayFace, letting some people prove that Pattinson will be part of this merger in the DCU. I do not take this as a debunk. Okay, I actually am starting to lean more with you guys, saying that it's probably not happening. But this is clever James Gunnanese. Same as when he said that, there wasn't, or when he denied, when people were asking him, is Ultraman in the movie? And he was like, guys, Lex Luthor's the villain. He's like, you didn't answer the Ultraman question, is he? Lex Luthor's the villain, guys. Same situation here. He's just saying is like, oh, I mean, I didn't okay this. I doubt the art department did it. I don't have time to okay all this stuff. Guess it just slipped through the cracks. So it could be either way. Pattinson could be the plan, and he's like, well, I wasn't planning on revealing it this early, so I wouldn't have said yes. Or, well, my plan isn't to have Pattinson, and someone just put it there. Probably not someone from my department. It could honestly go either way. It's exactly a yesn't. That's what it is. It's the James Gunn yesn't. But again, it just reinforces why this whole ClayFace stuff has been annoying, because I bet you it's probably just going to be a really cool movie. This photo is hilarious. I know he's merging them. I just can't prove it yet. I need to get that sound effect board. I've been so lazy to set that up. I could have a little Dexter Doak soundboard here. I just know he's merging them. But again, because I think the movie's going to be cool and all that, but it, like, people are digging into this like it's going to be the ultimate, reveal of everything in DCU Batman, when I don't think that's the case. Like, even this Flying Grayson poster, oh my god, dude, so excited that we're referencing Robin again, that we know Robin is coming, Dick Grayson, possibly a Jason Todd, but we know Damian Wayne for sure is coming, and if you got Damian Wayne, well, then you must have had Dick Grayson at some point. I'm trying not to do the dick jokes. I had so many just come in my head there, and I was like, just dick on the mind. Pause. So with that, I was like, but then I remember the Batgirl situation with Batgirl. Remember we had the Robin set photo, and I was like, oh, dude, look at him. He's right there. Just a pick a dick. And I was like, this could have been awesome. And we'll never know what that reference was. We'll never know the extent of Robin being part of that movie, or what their plan was, what the offhand mention was going to be. He was just going to be there. But yeah, so I'd like to believe maybe the Flying Graysons would be mentioned or something would be going on, but I think it's just background stuff, just stuff to fill in the set of Gotham, the cities, the alley. I doubt there's going to be a part of the movie where the camera zooms in on this Flying Grayson poster. I think it's, again, just to kind of fill in the world, and if for the crazy loco fans like me, when they get the 4K and they zoom in on all the details, they're like, hey, there's a Flying Grayson poster all the way in the back. I think there was even like a Penguin one. Penguin, let me see if I can find that set photo. Yeah, here, it's a little like advertisement for the Penguin Club. It just says Penguin Man. Amusement something. Amusement Nile? I can't read that well, but it's again just stuff to fill in the world. So still excited for ClayFace. Still looking forward to this movie. This Pattinson stuff is just gonna go back and forth until they finally announce who DCU Batman is. And in a weird way, as annoying as it is, it's kind of fun because every day we have things that prove it right and prove it wrong, and it's just crazy to see the chaos. But you guys have it here. Do you take this as a complete, as 100% debunk? Is this James Gunnanese where he's given a yes and no answer? Was this posted on there by a fan? Love to know. I do trust James Gunn for until he gives me a bad movie or bad project. I'm still trust him. I really like Superman. I'm really liking Peacemaker season 2. Supergirl looks awesome. Till I have like I think 2 or 3 bad movies or projects within the DCU, well that's when I'll start being a little bit more like I don't know about this James Gunn stuff, but so far it's going good. It's going good. But yeah, you guys let me know on this. That was definitely a stir crazy thing that popped up today. That was definitely crazy. All right. Bringing up now Super Mario Galaxy. Whoa! Let's go meet Rosalina. That's a good Mario, man. Chris Pratt's not available. I'll take up the job. I still cannot believe we are getting a Super Mario Galaxy movie. Like, this is insanity to me. Everybody growing up has their era of Mario, whether it's the 2D side scrolling era all the way back in the day, whether it's the Donkey Kong version where you're climbing the ladders, the N64 version, so on and so forth. I would say the one I played the most, although I had plenty of time with the 64 version, was Mario Galaxy, dude. And to see that they're actually going to adapt it, I was losing my mind. And so I obviously went wild with the trailer. I broke it down and all that. But when I was done, I didn't realize in the logo itself, you can see a ton of planets, locations, and things we're going to be exploring in the actual Mario Galaxy movie. At least I assume so. These could just be Easter eggs to the video game, since a lot of these are from the actual game. So let me actually pull up. I think people have already broken them down. That way we can look at what it is. So here's one of them. It's again, an island from Mario Galaxy. It says, zooming in extremely close onto the Super Mario Galaxy movie logo shows a plantoid with waterfalls next to plantoid with a single large tree. This may be the movie's representation of Honey Hive Galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy, which again, it does kind of look like it. I mean, they've gone with a different artistic style, but if you have this island over here and then this tree island over here, and then right here you get that same one just with more realistic textures to fit with the vibe of the movie. That feels like, yeah, okay, so that planet's going to be coming in then from Mario Galaxy. Let's see here. I think more people have like thrown. This one was my favorite because I do remember this crazy planet when I was a kid. I was like, why is there a question mark planet? Is the planet questioning what it is? What is life? Dad! Oh, man. Just mind-boggling crisis at the age of 11 playing Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii, catching stars. It's pretty fun. I wonder what the jokes that they'll have with this, if it's just something that flies by, if it's in the background. Is this actually a planet we're going to be exploring? That's cool. I think I see someone else that brought up another one. So this feels like almost one of the main, I think this is like the first planet you land on in Mario Galaxy, where you're just introduced. Yeah, you can see all the pillars, you can see the houses, the trees, all the flowers. Yeah, there's the pillars, houses, trees, and flowers. It's going to be kind of crazy. They also have the flying saucer, which shows up in the intro of the Mario Galaxy game. So that's one thing the Mario movie did well. I was still kind of shocked whenever the Mario movie came out. Ton of naysayers. Ton of, a lot of people being upset with the movie. And you know what? I'm also going to be honest with myself. Maybe the jingling keys worked. All right. I'm just being honest with you. Maybe the jingly keys worked on me with this one because I was like, I get that reference. I know that level. I know that power up. Oh, it's Mario Kart. It worked for me and it put a big smile on my face. And I feel like everybody did their jobs well enough. I think from what I was used to with Illumination, this was kind of a surprise for me and I had a good time with it. But, people were vocal of their issues and they did have problems. I do wonder if they're going to address any of that stuff, if they're going to take it more seriously. Like already I was seeing a lot of people be more upfront about them wanting to get rid of the pop songs in the movie. No pop songs and just stick to the Brian Taylor score, I believe, or Brian Tyler score. Which, yeah, I mean they do great renditions from the actual game. Brought them in. I mean, just the little Mario Galaxy theme that you hear in the teaser trailer sends nostalgia down my spine. And so there's that. I am sad of the loss of Donkey Kong, but it totally makes sense why he's not coming in. There's something I didn't pick up on that a lot of other Mario fans were quick to point out. Daisy has recently been named the Desert Princess. I have no idea when this happened or when this became canon in Mario lore, but apparently Daisy is now considered the Desert Princess. If somebody can write me a 10-page essay explaining where this came from or how this came to be, or if it was always this way and I just never knew. But in most recent Mario lore, Daisy is considered the Desert Princess. And with that Old Spice leak, that dude, I can't believe that was real for the Mario movie. And it shows Luigi, which I'm assuming that character is going to be in the desert planet because you have here the little Tatooine or whatever it's called, and it's called Desert Detour. Is that then where he meets his Princess Daisy? So we are possibly getting a Daisy introduction in here. That I want Luigi happy. Taking too many L's. Give him one W. Give him a W that begins with a D, and that's Daisy, right? We have here the Brooklyn Yoshi. I really hope he's not relegated to just Brooklyn the whole time. I hope he's more part of the movie, but he could be. So I did think that was interesting. A lot of people did bring that up. Let's see here. If anyone's bringing up, okay. She was from the desert land of Sarsaland. It's not new. It came from Super Mario Land game back in the Game Boy. Wow. I literally never knew, but that's cool that is. Like I was even trying to do research, be like when this is, and I just saw like a bunch of fan art and I was like, well, let me take a detour on these. Well, that's good to know. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. I mean, I just played the games. I never really like dove into the lore of the craziness. Well, speaking of lore, people are going crazy on the possible backstory for Rosalina. Is that how you spell her name? Rosalina? Because people are bringing up the story, the backstory you get of Rosalina in the actual Mario Galaxy is pretty tragic, and it has the imagery of the tree and all that. Let me see, Rosalina tree. And people are saying that's kind of like the main imagery they were trying to evoke in the actual trailer for Mario. See, because if you have it here, so there's the tree and the castle. And then when you get the storybook backstory of Rosalina in the actual game, it's like this. It's a tree there and then the castle off into the side. And it goes into her tragic backstory of losing her family and then adopting the Lumens and becoming the Queen of Lumas or something like that. Could they actually try going more sentimental with this one? I mean, I feel like the trailer was actually kind of somber. So, I mean, there was no crazy joke. There was no wild, cringy thing that happened. I'm trying to think back. What was the original trailer for the first Mario movie? Was there like a cringy joke or vibe to that one? What was that one? Okay, Super Mario teaser trailer. What year did that one come out, guys? 2022? What was the first teaser trailer for that one? I feel like it was about the same, wasn't it? Super Mario. It was like when he bumps into Toad and he sees all the kingdom, right? That was like the first piece of marketing we got. YouTube is just flooded with the new trailer, not the old one. Is this one it? No, that's like 2 minutes long. Either way, it seemed pretty interesting. And they just had Mario sleeping there the whole time. Was all there, music all into foot. So maybe they're going with a more serious direction. Buddy, we get it. Diddy Kong, Diddy the pedo. My God, Ian, you are hilarious, buddy. Can we all class take a second to look at Ian and laugh at his joke so he can stop spamming? All right. Good job, buddy. We're done. Jesus, man. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I like all these little details. I think they nail it every time. I'm curious where they're, because in the announcement, Universal, he also said that they're going to be pulling from different eras of Mario. I mean, it's one thing to say different games, different eras. It's like, whoa, what era? You going to throw in some 64 in there? You're going to throw in some Sunshine? People brought up, and I forgot about this. There was a Mario Sunshine planet in Super Mario Galaxy 2. Let me see if I can do that. I feel like that's the best way to do it. I know there was a lot of fans upset that there was never a kind of how do I say it? They didn't do the sequel to Mario Sunshine, but it's just like I know it's a beloved game. I don't know how big that would have been to general audiences. I think Galaxy is a much better bet because even if you haven't played Mario Galaxy, just that title alone, Super Mario Galaxy, that evokes some thought. That evokes some people going crazy. So, um, no, there was. I saw some people say that there was like a level where like you could, it was like an homage to it, and I was like, was there? Yeah, is it this one here where you get the little jetpack and oh, it's just the planet. I don't think you get the jetpack, but it's like Starshine Beach, I think is what it was. People were saying that was their homage to Sunshine in the game, and I was like, okay, so maybe they could do something similar to that where they land on like a water planet, and for like 5 minutes in the movie, he gets the little water jetpack. I don't know. Could do that. Could do a paper. Maybe it's a multiverse thing where planets are even different, where he turns into Paper Mario on one planet. The possibilities are endless, guys. And now, again, my mind is still at where do we go for Super Mario 3? I just you can't do Smash Bros. I love the idea, guys. Trust me. But that's something you build up to, and I know Sony's got the Legend of Zelda movie coming up, but that's so deadly serious and live action. How do you then throw in animated Link? How do you throw in all those other characters? I just don't think so. To me, my best guess is like Mario Party, and then you just do like a Squid Game kind of tournament in the Mario world. I don't know what else you do that would be that crazy. I know some people were saying like Odyssey. I just don't think Odyssey would be as big. Because again, Galaxy, we're traveling in space, planet to planet. Odyssey still I know you're like different maps and locations, but it still feels grounded and just on Earth. Maybe we explore the pipelines. Maybe that's their way to do Odyssey. Because remember in Mario movie Pipes, all those there's gotta be different worlds. Is that how they're gonna travel to the planets instead of in space? Because like this little tunnel system in place. Well, then we gotta have different pipes at other places. Peach taking pipes? Maybe. Maybe. All right, that was what I thought about the Super Mario Galaxy stuff. You guys let me know what you think about it. And would you like to see your speculation, your thoughts, and theories? All of it down below. Okay. Let's move on here to Spider-Man 4. Okay. Stop, Chris. Ah, it's just a little goof. Just a little goof and gaff. Just a little goof and gaff. All right. What was I just saying? Spider-Man 4. All right, Spider-Man 4. So earlier in the week, we got a set photo from Spider-Man 4. Oh, look. I love how when you search Spider-Man 4 set photo, I'm the first one there, baby. Tom Holland's definitely seen my video and clicked off of it after 3 seconds. This guy's cringe. We had Ned and MJ on the set, and it looks like they were filming their scenes. Here we go. So this is coming from a bunch of people in London who I guess got the chance to visit the Spider-Man Brand New Day set. They had passes, meet the cast and all that. And, you know, we saw set photos before of Zendaya on Spider-Man Brand New Day, but we were specifically told that she wasn't filming anything. She was just kind of there to support Tom Holland. And I guess it kind of makes sense. It feels like it's the ending of the movie where, like, you know, because every spot, like literally 90-80% of Spider-Man movies end at a cemetery where Spider-Man's looking at some sort of grave going, what have I done? The power came with responsibility, all right. Let's get some tacos. Same verbiage every time. And she was there, but we were told she's not actually filming anything. She's there supporting her fiance, which is nice. But here, I'm pretty sure they were actually filming their scenes and what they're going to be doing in Brand New Day. I mean, for one, the one giveaway to me is Ned in the MIT shirt. Because MIT is the college they got into at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. And so, like, why would he just casually be on set visiting of Tom Holland wearing what his character would be wearing in the movie, you know, right? So has he always worn glasses? I don't think he's been a glasses guy, right? Or am I? It's that psychology thing where I don't think Ned has ever worn glasses. I don't think so. And maybe he was just but yeah, Ned's never worn glasses. So hey, he's going for the smarter look. Maybe it's a new thing for him. Um, I definitely feel then a couple of things. So for one, Ned is all out in the out there. MIT shirt. All right. They're involved in the movie. We've heard it's a small role, not that huge. So curious though what their interaction is going to be with Tom Holland's Peter Parker, if any, if he's going to get close, if he's watching from afar. Because also, if they're in MIT, shouldn't they be like off campus in what is it, Brooklyn or where is Oh well, he did say I'm just yeah, okay, Brooklyn, New York, I guess, right? So not that far, but still, I'm just like wondering. So are they home in the summer? Are they home for winter break? I'd still love this to be a Christmas movie, but I doubt it. I think most of the stuff we've seen is just like taking place in the rain. Massachusetts, thank you guys. I knew it was an M. Brooklyn was not an M. Uh, Either way. So with that, there, Zendaya in the hoodie. Please, please give her the red hair. Please do that. Please. I would be so happy. It would be so awesome. And why else would she be covering up her hair? I did zoom in as much as I could whenever this photo first came out. And I feel like you do see one strand of hair and it just looks black. But maybe it's the lighting. Maybe, because even here, I'm like, is there a red tint to it? I would love it, but why else would she cover up her hair in the hoodie? That'd be a great reveal and have her look more like a traditional MJ with the red hair, because that's just iconic part of her. Okay. So with that said, I still am thinking they could go ahead and set up the Hobgoblin storyline. I'm gonna bring this up now that we have Ned confirmed in the movie and he's there. I think Ned as Hobgoblin is now more possible than ever. One, they've already kind of set it up in No Way Home when they had that little joking scene of Ned telling Peter, he's like, I promise I'll never try and kill you. Oh, you're not going to be able to keep that promise, Ned, because you're not going to remember that friendship. So already there, they don't remember each other's friendship. And I think that story-wise would be so heartbreaking for Peter Parker because he does remember the friendship. He knows that they get along, that they're buddies, that they're chums, but something will happen where Ned just doesn't see him that way. I feel like it'll be a thing. Again, this is just me like fanboying and doing my own fan fiction. I feel like something will happen where Peter does come across MJ and Ned, is in their lives, but then he starts becoming overprotective. And to Ned, that's weird. He's like, we just met you, bro. Why are you always up on us? Why are you checking out? Why are you looking out for us? It feels like you're stalking us, bro. I feel Ned is going to get the wrong vibes from this stranger being super overprotective. Because I don't think Ned sees MJ as like a love interest, although that'd be a crazy twist if that's maybe what's happened since Peter left the picture. But Ned will see MJ as like a friend, and he'd want to protect her friend and be like, this sketchy guy is like always watching us, always asking where we are. I kind of don't like him. And I think there could be something there. The only other thing is like he volunteers for some weird project at MIT or some weird thing and becomes Hobgoblin. That's my terrible fan fiction. I feel like obviously Kevin Feige can afford better writers and, and thinkers, but the puzzle pieces are there for that to happen. All right. So I'm excited for that. I still don't know then if they're going to reverse the spell in this movie, how they go about reversing the spell. I already gave that my other terrible fan theory. If the black symbiote is in this movie, then you just put the symbiote on Ned and MJ for like 2 seconds. They get their memories back because they share the memories with Peter. And there, you bring back their memories and everybody else still forgets Peter. That's my thinking, okay? If they do the boring thing of like true love's first kiss, which I've already done that joke, that's gonna be boring. Like just kisses MJ and it's good, kisses Ned and he's good. We have to do it for our friendship, Ned, right? It's gonna be. I just want to know the explanation, but I don't think it'll happen in this movie. I think that'll be more in the next movie because they have such a small role, and them remembering Peter and everything, I think has to be a big plot point. You can't just sideline them as like 5-10 minute appearances, whatever they're gonna have. So still cool that they're in it. Confirmation, they're there in the MIT. You guys let me know how you see all that going down. Do you think she has red hair under there? Will Ned be walking down the path to become Hobgoblin? We don't know. We don't know. We'll see. I know people think he's too goofy to become Hobgoblin. I totally get that. Just looking at this image, I hate it. But dude, people change in college. People grow up a little. I think if they actually pull off a decent rivalry, it would be heartbreaking. and a lot of fans would get into it. I don't know. That's my thinking. And it happens a lot in Spider-Man comics. It's usually the people closest to him that sometimes turn, and it makes it even worse. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. All right, let's move on to this Doctor Doom leak. Okay. So there was a Disney merchandise expo that just happened in China over the week. And this is at this expo, they just go to retailers and give them looks at what they're working on. That way they can start making shirts and all this other stuff. And they can then sell it back to us, right? And so at this merchandising expo, they brought back a standee of something we've seen similar in the year for the American Expo. I'm trying to look for a better quality because this photo is like, oh, well, I guess that works. Okay. And here's the front of it in Shanghai. And okay, we got Buzz Lightyear, Judy Hopps, Mickey Mouse, and Spider-Man. Now, again, granted, this Spider-Man we have seen already in other promotional photos. Spider-Man merchandise expo. If you guys remember, we did see this, and people oh, well, dang, I thought that would pop up the photo easily. But there was a merchandise. There we go. This was the merchandising expo where we first got a look at it. And although it is similar to the brand new day suit, it is not the exact same suit. And this promotional art has been seen on other stuff years before it showed up here. It seemed like a placeholder. And it also kind of makes sense because it's a Sony kind of property thing they're doing. So I doubt Disney would want to showcase, a Sony owned thing as part of their merchandising line. They might do their own design there, but it's a close enough look. Okay. Well, with that one, there was also a Doctor Doom one. I don't know if you guys remember. I'm trying to find that full photo. There was a Doctor Doom one, and the Doctor Doom was Alex Ross art. So here we go. Doctor Doom, Alex Ross. It was this exact image, I believe. This one here, which again, we've seen before. It's Alex Ross art. Great artist. And that's kind of what they use. So we were figuring like, okay, that's not really going to be then what Robert Downey Jr. is going to look like. Well, all that's changed with this new Expo look, which if I can find it here, where did I go with that? Okay. With this new Expo look at Doctor Doom, we have here what most likely he's going to end up looking like in Avengers Doomsday. I'm trying to get an up close better shot, guys. Oh, so sorry. Let's get that pulled up. Doctor Doom. Was it first look? Let's see this. There we go. Looking at this here, then, this art has not been seen anywhere. This is not fan art. This is not promo art. People done tons of reverse image searches and tried to look for where this version of Doctor Doom comes from. Nowhere. So if they used Alex Ross art earlier in the year for another expo, and now they came back for this expo, it seems like they just used then the actual concept and the actual look for what they plan Doctor Doom to look like in Avengers Doomsday. And here we have it. So I'm fully believing and buying this is the actual look Robert Downey Jr. will have. This is his full suit. Because again, why not just use the Alex Ross art again? You did it earlier in the year for the expo. This art is also nowhere to be seen. So why create brand new art that won't even be part of your movie? That just time and effort not needed. So I fully believe this. So looking at the suit, awesome. Gorgeous. I love the medieval design, the chainmail they got going on. The mask also looks so much better because if you remember the mask at the end of Fantastic Four, so Doctor Doom, Fantastic Four, not interested. Let's see here. They had a mask, Fantastic Four post-credit scene, and it was just so, I don't know, it was just lacking detail. It definitely felt like a placeholder mask. We didn't get like a great look at it. Here's the best look, but I mean, it's just so plain. It's just shiny, kind of there. And then again, looking at the Doctor Doom mask, so different. So much more detailed, so much more menacing, a lot more lines and a different chrome. This was very plain. And again, it's just for the post-credit scene. So it's not like it's going to be held on to continuity. They've done this a lot where they changed up the post-credit scene once we finally got it in the actual movie. And I do like this change. I think it does look a lot better. Okay, so along with this look at Doctor Doom, though, we also got this like teaser, which was kind of crazy. It was this light show that they created, Doctor Doom. Let's see if they pull it up here. Is part of this light show that they did in the main hall, and it was kind of sick. it was like, wow, they actually put in some effort. So here we have just Doctor Doom's arm coming through. It's almost hologrammy. And there's a couple of interesting things I noted from this thing. So for one, this is where I haven't seen anyone mention this. A lot of other stuff people have mentioned, but look at this shot right here. This, okay, there we go. That's a good one. Tell me that doesn't look like the outline of the Iron Man mask. I feel like that is intentional. This is Doctor Doom sitting on his throne in there, but I feel like this top ridge part of his throne is an Iron Man mask. Does that not look like it? I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Iron Man. Let's see if we get it. I feel like I see it on there a little bit. Let me see. Let me get like a what's a good, like, you have here like the indent down below and the stuff right there. I see it. I feel like I see the Iron Man. I don't know, just a nice little parallel. I am not wanting that much of a, how do I say it, connection to the Tony Stark. I'm still so curious how they're planning that off, but I feel like it's kind of hard not to do some sort of Iron Man parallel when Robert Downey Jr. is honing the mask, right? So I don't know. That's one thing I kind of noticed. I was like, oh, it kind of looks like the Iron Man mask. Okay, but then we get to see him using his powers, all shattering everything, and this is where things got really interesting. So when we see this like doorway he's in front of, and then he starts using his sorcerer abilities on what to me looks like one of Shang-Chi's rings. Now, if you guys don't know, back in the Kang Dynasty days, when we thought Kang was going to be the ultimate bad guy, we all theorized Kang was using a version of the 10 rings as part of his time chair because they just looked a lot like it. And the Shang-Chi post-credit scene was like, oh, there's something with your rings. They're pinging and sending a signal to somebody. It looks like that might be it. And if you also know the title for the Shang-Chi supposed sequel, which I bet you they're going to change and mess around with now, but Marvel at one point trademarked the name Shang-Chi and the Wreckage of Time. So it looked like his rings were going to be able to time travel, or his movie was just going to deal with time traveling of some sort. So it has time traveling abilities. I think then Doctor Doom mixing the time travel abilities of the 10 rings with his sorcery magic then opens up a gateway for the multiverse. And I feel like it gets kind of confirmed here because here you're going to see it spin around, go crazy with it again, 10 rings and the sorcerer powers. And there you go. Access here to the Avengers. We got the Avengers there. Then he shows off the Wakandans. So Black Panther. I'm thinking it's going to also cover Namor and the people in Atlantis there. And then Fantastic Four, their worlds, and then of course ending off with the X-Men. I was just kind of cool. It's just a little insight to maybe what they have going on. We don't know how much this will actually, impact Avengers Doomsday, but I feel like that's enough of a hint. That's enough of a little bit where we can theorize. And again, I mean, Shang-Chi is already confirmed to be part of this movie. They set up that post-credit scene. It'd be nice if they actually do something with it and not just let it fall flat. It's also nice to know Doom will actually have sorcerer abilities in this film because Doom just hasn't had that. It's always either been electricity powers or weird gamma radiation powers from the Fan Force Stick movie. Actually being a sorcerer this time around will be cool. My only question, I guess, is how does he get the rings in the first place? Because you got to be able to jump to a multiverse to get them, unless the rings just happen to already exist in the Fantastic Four universe, right? Or he only has one part of the plan to multiverse and he needs the whole rings to just be better to like easily travel, kind of the way Thanos with the glove. Once he got like the portal stone, he's like just portaling everywhere. I don't know. It's pretty cool. So a lot of stuff going on in there, but this was a nice little like just tease showing off that they got stuff going on. Again, Doom and his throne, all looking sweet. I like the look of all this stuff, but you guys let me know. You think this is real or this is just, again, made up concept? I don't think, why would you just make it up? You could have just used the Alex Ross art again. This is a great design for Doom. And, I saw some people also say it's a great design, but then you remember Robert Downey Jr.'s on the mask. I'm like, well, let's wait and see. Let's see what they cook first, okay? I wasn't extremely happy about it either. Definitely seemed like an easy way to get general audiences back. But I'm like, let's see the story they got. Maybe they can make it make sense. Maybe, Jingly key again. It's working for me. Oh, shiny, shiny. You're not supposed to eat keys. But I did. Okay, you guys let me know what you thought about that. Let me see what... Oh, yes, you're right. I forgot about that. Talk about the Thanos skeleton part. Yeah. So Doctor Doom, which again, okay, so that's been another topic of contention with this. Will they actually recreate the skeleton moment from the comics where Doctor Doom just pulls out the spine of Thanos? And in this little video, they do have a moment like that. I think it's here it is. It's like literally happens for like a split second. Okay. My hot take is it shouldn't be Thanos. I think they've already done Thanos weak too many times for it to actually be impactful in the movie. Because you think back to What If, you think back to Multiverse of Madness, you think back even to the two Infinity War and Endgame movies. They've killed Thanos. They've proven he's killable. I don't think he is the threshold to be able to show, dude, this guy means business, right? I think then this spine skeleton, whoever it is, has to be somebody else. Somebody that we either perceive as super strong or would be a really heartfelt death. I know there's people like this guy over here saying it could be Steve Rogers or King. Unfortunately, Steve Rogers, yes, that would hurt and that would suck if it was him, but we know he still has the vulnerability of a human, not that hard to pull out his spine. Kang, defeated by ants, so exciting as a villain that they had to replace him, supposedly even before the controversy. So again, I don't think it's the people to do it, unless that's just how you want to open the movie and explain why Kang isn't the villain anymore. It's just like he comes into that. So it has to be someone like Sentry, who they just shown super powerful. I don't want this to happen. I'm not a hater. Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, that would be a crazy, because you've shown how powerful she is. She's gone toe to toe with Thanos. That would be insane. The Hulk would also be another really wild one. But the way they've kind of nerfed the Hulk so much into the Smart Hulk, again, I don't know if it'd have that impact. Um, Again, though, but like Spider-Man, a bullet can kill him. So that's my thing. It's like you want to do it to somebody like, dude, yeah, if they somehow do it to a Galactus, that would be wild. And you know, they could do it because if you watch the Fantastic Four, Galactus says, I used to be your size. I used to be tiny like you. And it's implied he got as gigantic as he did from eating planets. Well, at the end of the Fantastic Four, we have Galactus shot into space, is in a place where he's just stranded, floating out in the middle of nowhere, not doing anything. And 4 years have passed. I think that's enough starvation time for Galactus to shrink back down to a reasonable size, come up to Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom, Galact what? Galact what? Sometimes I cook. Sometimes I cook. You know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So we'll see what ends up happening. But pretty cool. Pretty cool teaser. A lot of cool stuff. You guys let me in on who you theorize and who you think it could be, you know? All right. Let's see here then. All right. Time to talk about some Peacemaker. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. 'Tis a somber episode. Not a bad episode. Not a bad episode. But it was there was definitely an episode where I felt like more could have happened, or I was pretty pissed when it ended because I was like, that's it? I want more. I want more. And also, yes, for you who are still here loyally and don't need clickbaity titles to be part of watching these videos, let me switch it out here. Unfortunately, the clickbait worked, and I should have known with a crazy title like that. The when I decided to title the last video here, 3C Films Peacemaker. It worked. You see here you have 2 weeks, 28,000 views for episode 1 review. Title it There Are No Black People in Peacemaker, almost 50,000 views. It worked. It's just crazy. And I thank you guys for being so cool about that title. Like, I was sweating posting that title. I was like, I hope people understand what I'm saying and not trying to get mad at me. And y'all were cool about it. Thank you guys. Thank you. But I'm not going to try and walk on eggshells again like that. It's dangerous territory. Either way, though, on to actually just reviewing this episode. A couple of things. One, we get the origin story behind the portal. So, let me see here. Let me bring it up. It looks like, let me see. Peacemaker. Yeah, they got announced City of 6. I tried looking up more details on it, but it just said City of 6 is happening. I'm like, okay, well, Last one wasn't all that great. Uh, episode 4. Then we can look at some of the Easter eggs and things that happen. Okay, so here we go. The alien. I like that they explain this because I too have been wondering, how did Peacemaker's dad build that portal? Especially when in Superman, Lex Luthor is essentially building the same thing, a little pocket dimension or this little rift in time. And Lex's version was still unstable, not perfect, and he's supposed to be one of the brightest minds in the DCU. How did Redneck Daddy Peacemaker do it? Well, he didn't. He stole it from an alien and used this tech. Kind of crazy, kind of fun. I like that. So that was a cool opening for us to know then where the Peacemaker door came from and how they got involved with it and that. And we also know there's a limit now. I believe they said here it's one of the 99 doors. So although a lot of us thought it was infinite or it just went on forever, there's only 99 doors and they're still pretty big, still a lot of universes, but it looks like it caps off at 99. I was like, okay, that's cool that they did that. Um, as far as the rest of it goes, yes, we got some mentions of Rick Flag. I do like what they're doing with Harcourt. And now that they've let us know that she had a relationship with what's his name, Rick Flag Jr., and it's kind of the reason she's just hesitant on a relationship with Peacemaker because Peacemaker killed him. But I was surprised even Harcourt sold out Peacemaker, man. I guess she just really wants her job back and whatnot. So that part of it was fine. Am I the only one that doesn't love Judo Master? I want to like his character, but I'm not that thrilled with Judo Master and everything he's been up to. In Peacemaker, I should be careful too, searching Peacemaker with the R rated. See photos of the orgy in here. Uh, that's pretty funny. They went through one of the doors. This is Minecraft. Um, dude, and again, wild way to start the trailer for next week, dude. I was like, oh, didn't want to scrub that trailer for your post? Wild. Um, so here with Adebayo, learned how to say it. Thank you guys. The whole episode, I'm just like, please finally go through that portal because I want to see what happens when Chris is like, hey, this is my best friend. You guys know her Adebayo. There's probably a parallel version of me. I want to know what they do then to people of color in that other universe. Do they are they immediately killed? Is that allowed? Are they put in a jail? Is there like a place where they're all being held and forced to work or in a prison? And that's got to be the thing. And even Adebayo was saying, like, this place, sounds too good to be true. Sounds like something's up in this place. I don't know if we can trust it, Chris, but they were definitely stalling, just like Economos with the door stalling on there. The eagly stuff, I'm also like, what is going on there? They had this whole section with Michael Rooker, who plays Yondu in Guardians, where he's this like eagle catcher, and he uses this spiritual power to like see from a bird's eye view and what. I'm just like, is that James Gunn weirdness? I'm not. It's not even bad. I'm just like, that's some of that James Gunn weirdness. I heard the next 2 episodes are going to be like this though, just kind of somber, setting things up. So even next week, I still don't think it's going to be major stuff, but I think the last 3 episodes is where the big stuff is going to happen because that's the episodes James Gunn didn't want to show to people. So I actually think we're not going back to the alternate Earth and finding out if our theories are true until episode 6. I'm thinking we're still going to deal with some mess in the next episode on Peacemaker's main Earth, and then we'll get into the multiverse crazy stuff over there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's not a bad. It's just like I said, a somber episode, which is like, man, I want more to happen. I want the answers. I want things to go on. Still a good episode. Nice action scenes. Good comedy. It's just like, come on, let's get things going. I want these answers already, and I want to find out what this setup is for Man of Tomorrow in this overall DC universe. So, but overall, still a good episode. Just not much happened. Not much happened. 6-7. Peacemaker 6-7. 6-7. Okay, patience, Chris. You're right. You're right. No, man. It's, again, not a bad episode, but you're right. I do need the patience. It looks like that was all the main topics we had here today. For funsies, well, yeah, I guess I'll check Reddit. Although, you guys is here are just, what is this? Which streaming war image would you have as your painting you would sell in a museum if you, what is, oh. Oh, okay. I kind of got what you were going with, and then I lost you. I lost you there, buddy. When you think about it, Shrek is basically the boys, but for fairy tales instead of those bloody soups. I mean, that is what parody means. That is, I mean, The Boys is essentially a parody on superhero. It's just not 100% comedy. It gets pretty dark and bloody, but yeah, that's parody. So Shrek parody on fairy tales, Boys a parody on superhero properties. We decoded that one, brothers. Oh, Lightning McQueen, don't lick me. You don't want to go there, brother. Hey, fool, I got barbecue. Hey, 3C. I have watched Prison Break. I watched, I believe, 3 seasons of it. I loved season 1. And then from there, it just really started dying down where I just didn't finish watching it. Believe it or not, right before I got on stream, I just finally finished the original Dexter show. I know you're like, bro's on dial-up. Bro, yeah, I know. What a horrible last season that was, man. I'm not even gonna lie, and this is bad to say, especially as someone who reviews content and all that. I was watching all that last season of Dexter on my phone, just like it on the TV, and me. It was just so uninteresting, so dropping the ball. I'm pushing through because I want to make it for to see Resurrection. So I'm moving on to New Blood this weekend to watch that. So we'll see how it goes. I think they just announced something exciting right now. Let me look into that real quick. Let's go here. Maybe we can make it another topic. All right, breaking news. Oh yes, look at all these beautiful peeps just throwing it in there. Thank you, Rogue, for being one of the first. It looks here. A24 is set to buy the film and TV rights for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're expected to develop a TV series produced by JT Molnar and Glenn Powell as his first project. Looks like they won the bid, boys. It looks like they won. If you guys don't know, we had heard for, I think it was like a month or two ago, there was like a total of 5 different studios and people bidding for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think like one of them did involve like, I don't know if it was Monkey Paw or Jordan Peele's. I want to find that TikTok here. Texas Chainsaw Rights Battle. Either way, there was like Neon, Paramount, all these people were fighting. Hard Giants battle over Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was like a lot of people were battling for the rights, and one of them was A24 and Glenn Powell. Even the guy who makes that what's that oiling show? Dude, I just with Kevin Costner or something. I forget it. Yellowstone. Even the Yellowstone creator was fighting for the rights. But either way, we have it here. JT Molnar, which already love this dude. Love JT Molnar. He just did the adaptation for The Long Walk, which came out this weekend. I think he did a great job with adapting that. And then what else did he do? He did my favorite horror movie of last year, or one of my favorite. I think my favorite was Heretic, but this was one of them. Strange Darling, or I guess it was 2023. Strange Darling, I thought was awesome. This guy's great. And having Glenn Powell, okay. I wonder if he's gonna star because they did say that he'd be involved, but he wouldn't necessarily star. But I'm like, dude, Glenn, if anybody is gonna star in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, it's your Texas looking butt. Like this guy just screams, "Howdy, ma'am." Cowboy hat, sheriff badge, fighting Leatherface. I see it. Glenn Powell, come on, man. Star in the movie, buddy. Let me look up some more information about this Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But, dude, it's been so long since we've had, like, a good one. Because I still think the last good one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, are the ones that were the reboots, which is Beginning and just Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Let me see here for the actual article. Tools, more news. Those were the last good. Everything else has just been, you'll watch it if you're a Texas fan, but that's it. All right, Jen Powell ladder. Okay, it says here, apparently the deal hasn't closed, but A24 has pole position. Another source close to the action tells us that this is all premature, but it's clear the genre label behind Hereditary isn't letting this one go. And remember, A24 for the last couple of years has been very vocal that although we like making weird movies that certain movie fans enjoy and really get a kick out of, we sometimes have a hard time pulling in your mom and pop, your coworker that don't like the weird movies And so they're trying to lean on more IP to get money. It's kind of the thing Pixar does where they can suffer a hit with Elio, which was an original idea that didn't make all that much money, but it's because they're making 20 Toy Story sequels and those make $1 billion each, letting them make as many original projects. So we're going to see A24 do this a lot more, which is why they're also doing the Friday 13th TV show, where they're investing in IP stuff to then afford to pay for some of the weirder things they do, which is cool, beats out, let's see here. With the deal, A24 beats out a feature directed and co-written by Brian Bertino with Oz Perkins producing, Tyler Sheridan produced version of Leatherface. Yeah, see, so all these names that were about to get it now got beat out. It says here, we were first told about this beauty contest administered by Veer. The agency has reported the rights to the slasher since 2017. And yeah, even Netflix was trying to get it back. Look, you guys, I know, trust me, I don't love to quote the guy, but he was also one of the first people to say it. Jeff Snyder, he was one of the first ones to say it about A24 and Texas Chainsaw. And now it's official news. That's why I bring up the guy sometimes. Unfortunately, he's got them sources. I'm down. Texas Chainsaw is one of those properties where you can give me 10 bad movies, and when you announce that 11th movie, 1 ticket, please. I'll be there. There's a lot of franchises like that. Child's Play, Final Destination, all the big guys. Friday the 13th, all the Leprechaun. 10 bad movies, horrible. Next time you announce the next one, I'll be right there. It's just a comfort I have with these movies. They could be fine, you know? Texas Chain the Gooner. At least you're on topic, buddy. I support that. So yeah, you guys let me know. Elm Street, I still don't get what's oh, well, Elm Street has not put out a bad movie. Well, I mean, I didn't love the reboot of the Elm Street. A lot of people did, but it's mainly just because it remade the original, which is a classic. But, oh, dude, I'd never get tired of an Elm Street movie. I just wish we would get an Elm Street movie, man. So, yeah, you guys let me know. Well, that's cool. We got something else to add on. Texas Chainsaw TV rights and all that, so we could be getting a lot. It says Netflix is still in the mix. So honestly, it looks like everything we heard last week is still possibly happening. This update was a non-update. This update was just to say it's actually happening. It wasn't BS, guys. So keep waiting. But we'll see. All right, let's move on to talk about some of your guys' questions here. And you know what? This is where I'm going to debut a new version of 3C. A version of 3C that needs to happen for his sanity and health. From now on, when we move to the Super Chat questions, y'all thought I was Unk before. I'm Unkin now. I carefully selected these glasses here, okay? I went to my local lens crafters, saw the walls, and was just... And these are the ones I found the least distracting and the best, okay? It's just, I have astigmatism. Where's your astigmatism? You know what? I've seen those commercials since I was a kid. Does your astigmatism bother you? And I was like, what the heck is astigmatism? Well, I have one. 30 years old and I got astigmatism. Basically just means light enters my eye in a funny way that sometimes makes the text blurry. I think it's so weird I can have 20/20 vision, but with astigmatism, that 20/20 looks slightly blurry. So, Chris Kent says L for bad eyes. Well, I can't control it, Rudra Patel. Okay? I actually think these look nice. I don't know. I think I'm rocking these guys. Come on now. I went with clear so it was not as distracting. All right? So, who are you? What did you do to Chris? I'm calling the police. Oh, the chat just roasting. Already got a 4 eyes? Who is this guy? What did he do? Halloween Horror Nights video. All the footage is sent to the editor. Should be posted this weekend, but I don't want to rush him. It's a lot of footage and all that, and I was late to give it to him. So read the channel editor's working on it, and that should be posted this weekend, Halloween Horror Nights video. I think they look good, not gonna lie. Hey, Concrete. Hey, you about made me act up, huh? You about made me act up, Concrete. All my aura just fled. And I think 5 of you unclicked after I did that. Nice to have you. Hypno glasses? Okay, that's enough. All right. Now I can read without going, Chucky LaBoo-Boo's opening. Chucky LaBoo-Boo's opening. Just saw The Long Walk, 10 out of 10. Yeah, dude, that movie's awesome. I love The Long Walk. That was really cool. What do you mean? Oh, Chucky LaBoo. Because I think Pop Mart came out with some Chucky stuff, but they're not LaBoo-Boos, are they? Chucky Pop Mart. Which, look, I think maybe 2 years ago, because I love Chucky, and I definitely want like this one and the Good Guy doll box, and I think that's about it. I'm fine with the rest. Those are this is the one I mainly want because I love that one. But I already get that from my Funko Pops right here. This is still my favorite Chucky Funko Pop, just right there. Just these will be buried with me one day. These will be buried with me. But yeah, no. But pretty cool that they did that. And it's cool that they're always doing Chucky merchandise stuff. Thoughts on Paramount buying Warner Brothers? I did see that. Look, y'all know me. I have a high school education with 2 years of community college. So I'm perfectly qualified to talk about the merger of two gigantic businesses. I looked into it a little bit. Okay, the only concerns I have with this, or the only things that came up in my mind without knowing too much of the logistics, is Paramount to me does not seem like the company that has the money to buy Warner Brothers. Like, especially in the state Warner Brothers is in right now, they have been killing it this year. Like, they had 7 movies in a row opening over $40 million at the box office. That's a good record. For like just a year ago, we were clowning on Warner Brothers. Like, oh no, 2 or 3 years ago when Black Adam was coming out, Warner Brothers was on such a bankrupt spot. They couldn't afford to release movies. Like, you guys remember that? I don't know how many of y'all remember that. They could only release like 2 movies because they didn't have the money to put out more. Meaning, like, the movies they already had, they didn't have the money for like the marketing or whatever it cost the theaters, all that. And it was a crazy time to see how much Warner Brothers has turned that around, and they're just the most successful movies this year are Warner Brothers. Kind of crazy, and it puts them in a position to be bought. I do worry about the James Gunn situation because James Gunn does only have like a 7-year contract with them. When you get a new head in there, sometimes they like to change things, sometimes they think they know better. And it's like this happens with DC every few years. We had Warner Brothers on their own, then they were bought by AT&T, then they were bought by Discovery, now they're about to be bought by Paramount. All of this happened within the span of 15 years, and every time they were bought out, DC gets rearranged, turned around, and they think they can fix this and become Marvel and Kevin Feige. I know some people aren't going to like to hear this, mainly a small group, but I think if Paramount comes in, they just let James Gunn do what he does. Until he starts actually losing them money, which so far he hasn't. Supposedly the Superman made $125 million in profit. I say just let James Gunn does what he does. You know what? These glasses are giving me intelligence. Ask me about string theory. I'll tell it to you. I'll sell you something. Oh, yeah, see. The galaxy, 'tis a string, and my theory is that it exists. Yes, see? But yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Okay. We have here new Marvel Zombies trailer and Insidious casting. We did just see the Insidious thing. For the Insidious, they're just bringing back. I know they brought in another girl, but I'm not familiar with her, so I'm not too much I can say. Insidious, is that how you spell Insidious? Insidious. Okay, where's she from? I don't know. Oh, is it Haunting Hills or what? Amelia Eve and Lin Shaye. Like, Lin Shaye has been in almost all of them, or has been in all of them. To me, I'm just like, dude, you burned your chance with that last Insidious movie because it was like such a good idea of bringing back the OG family, having them that, and I think they just botched it by making like half the movie a recap film. That was still what blew my mind. Half the movie was recapping what happened, and I'm like, we know what happened. Give us more story. So we'll see if that ends up good. But that movie made so much money, they were like, we got to keep milking this Insidious cow. We got to keep doing this stuff. Marvel Zombies trailer was cool. I'm just excited to see the actual show. The actual show now. We have here saying, Junior said, I'd like to see the Mario movie to get Bowser versus Donkey Kong movie and create their own version of GVK with King Pool as their version of Mecha G. Well, that's some crazy fan writing right there. That's some crazy. You know what? I Now that you're saying it, I think you might be onto something because we were just talking about with Mario Galaxy. How do you top that title for the next movie, right? Like Mario Galaxy, like again, I get it. People love Odyssey, people love Sunshine. I just don't think marketing wise, a name like Galaxy, like Sunshine or Odyssey, as much as like those games, I don't think they'd be as big as saying Galaxy. You title it Mario versus Donkey Kong, okay? You got something there. You need to really though set up why they would be fighting because they were pretty chummy and broy in the movie. But hey, that's an idea. That's an idea. Easy Bro says, "Love your content. You're so funny. Can you please do Fantastic for pose for edit? I'll give you one with glasses and one without glasses, buddy." There you go, buddy. Enjoy. Peyton Rourke says, "Not getting political. R.I.P. Charlie Clerk." Diego Garcia says, "Hey Chris, time for some 3C lore. What is your most embarrassing Halloween trick or treating moment?" Thanks, Papa. Most embarrassing. I think one year I walked out of the house without my Freddy Krueger glove. I was Freddy Krueger like 3 years in a row just because it was like an easy costume to have, wasn't much to it. And I think one year I got in the car, was ready, and I'm like, I don't have my glove. I'm just a burn victim for Halloween now. Without that glove, that's all you is. I was like, what are you to me? In a house fire? That's what I was. That's all I was. So I think that was about it. I think one year I did have the thing happen to me where my Halloween bag ripped. I bought like a cheapo, maybe somebody, they still sell them. They still sell them. These, let me see here. Halloween claw bag. These things. I think they still sell them. Oh my god, I think these were the exact ones. I had the skull one, and I filled that thing so much it ripped, and I lost a good chunk of my candy. I was mad. I was so mad. You start thinking about suing. Little 9-year-old me going, I'm gonna own Walmart when I'm done with them. The candy I've lost, they're gonna regret it. They're gonna regret it. So yeah. Let's see here. Hello, Chris. I finally got a job. Also have news on the new trailer for FNAF 2. I'm thinking they would probably release it along with the fight. Well, no. What? No, yeah, sorry. I was thinking right. I got it reversed. I think they'd release it with Black Phone 2. For some reason I thought the Black Phone 2 came out in December, but no, that's Five Nights at Freddy's. I think the Black Phone 2, right? That's coming up. It's like within a week or two. I think that's when we get the next trailer. And I've heard some crazy things. I've heard some crazy things about it, so we'll see. Pooks, do Peacemaker next, because I need to go. Thanks. Oh, I did it. If you missed it, you could check it out on the Clippity Clip. Thank you, thank you. What if Super Mario Bros. 2 is just Mario going around to different video game planets to set up Mario 3 Super Smash Bros? See, I would love to believe that, and that could be cool. I just think that would definitely get heavily criticized because how do you make a story make sense where it's like, oh, we're in the Kirby planet, oh, we're in the Link planet, we're in the, I don't know, those little Eskimo twin planet. I forget their name. Um, I Dude, I'd like to believe they could set up Super Smash Bros. Movie because that would be a big money get. Let's see here. Peyton Rourke says, I recently got back from seeing The Long Walk. 9.5 out of 10, great film. I was reading the reviews and somebody said I took a long walk out of the theater. Half a star. Dude, that movie was great. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Doing that review was crazy for me. I was so out of breath, so sweaty and nasty because I think the video was only like 10 minutes long, but I was on that treadmill for an hour trying to collect my thoughts and not sound like I was too tired. Jaden Griffin says, Hey Chris, I love the whole aesthetic on your set. Probably one of your best and my favorite. Oh, thank you so much. Also, probably one of the craziest weeks this year. Yeah, this week was crazy. And I definitely don't want to disrespect, and I don't want to make this any political stuff, but It's just a crazy week. It does make me sad for the country more than anything because it's like, dude, I grew up loving this place, and it's just like we're so divided and so awful spots. I'm just like, man, let me just talk my movie news and try to have some fun. Snow L. Jackson says thoughts on Steven Spielberg really wanting to direct a Call of Duty movie. I think it's crazy because there was a report that said so there's a Call of Duty movie happening. It's with Paramount now. They bought the rights. But before that, Activision was like in heavy talks with Steven Spielberg so that he could direct the movie, but they didn't want to give him full control, so they backed out, they chickened out, and they gave it to Paramount, and they said, "Paramount, you deal with it." I'm like, it's Steven Spielberg, Saving Private Ryan. If any movie he's gonna make that's gonna ball, it's gonna be a war movie because he's proven his chops on that. Still so crazy they didn't do that. Benji M says, since Scream likes to get meta, I think it would be cool if there was a Ghostface that we knew was in a horror movie and used his knowledge of horror tropes and fourth wall breaks against the character. That would be cool, but I would rather that as its own franchise. I think I would rather that be its own thing, and that's a great idea. I'm actually going to steal it and make that my own now. So let's just delete the footage of this because I think that's cool. It's kind of like that movie they did. What was it? The Final Girls? Was it the one where they go in the TV? Was it the Final Girls movie? What was that one called? You guys remember? Okay, yeah, it was called that. I was like, was it? This was a cool one because it's basically like they watch a movie. It's basically Friday the 13th, but they get sucked into the movie and they're like, oh well, we know movies and their tropes. But it'd be funny to do the reverse of that, where it's a serial killer gets sucked into the movie and he just starts a killing. Something there. Oh, Rise of Leslie Vernon is basically that. You're right. Rise of Leslie Vernon is basically that. Great movie if you guys haven't seen it. It's so ahead of its time. So ahead of its time. Rise of Leslie Vernon, Behind the Mask, great movie. Great movie. So underappreciated. Karate Kick 4D says, if we knew how they made Peach, Paulina, and the lady in the commercial, who knows what they're cooking up for our look for Rosalina? The Cooters will be waiting. I'm just curious who the voice of Rosalina will be. You know, I joked around on TikTok that it'd be Aquafina. And them TikTok kids did not like that suggestion. I do like some of the other suggestions people have made. Some people said Scarlett Johansson, Elizabeth Olsen. That those works for me. I don't know about Anna Kendrick. It's just I think we got to think a little bit more random, a little bit more out of the. You have Chris Pratt, Jack Black, Seth Rogen. You gotta think of somebody that is just like that's not Rosalina. Because when you think of someone who is Rosalina, that's not who they're going to cast. That's just not the way they've done things. So someone just said Tom Holland. Come on now. Aquafina would be the great choice. Tara Strong I'd love, but I mean she just doesn't have the celebrity power, unfortunately, to like put her name on a poster. Although I'd be happy if she got it either way. I'm trying, dude. It's gonna be like Jenna Ortega or something like that. Sabrina Carpenter would be kind of cool, and I saw people say Zendaya would also be cool. Sabrina Carpenter would be cool because then they could make a song. Margot Robbie would be wild too. Some of these would also be just too much money. I know it's late now, but please tell me you've seen Fixed. I ain't gonna see it, buddy. I think the time has passed for Fixed. Maybe one day. April says the flying decks. Also, thank you for the nice distractions for the insane week. Also, Australia trip. Summertime is coming up. Oh, for Australia, it's about to be your summertime. That's cool. I do want to go, but I scared of Australia. Okay, I am one of those people that I've seen enough like nature documentaries of like the family vacation in Australia. A snake bit the daughter, and she died. I'm like, did they at least have a good time? What happened? That like I've seen enough of those. All like I even watched. I listened to the Weekly Planet. You know, Mason and James, and I remember one time listening, and James just said he like looked into his shoe and there was a big old spider in there, and I'm like, yep, don't want to go there. Lived in Texas 30 years, never once found me no spider in my shoe when I was about to put it on. So Eyes good. Eyes good. No, but I do want to visit it. But I'm gonna go in a hazmat suit. I'm just gonna pretend like it's The Last of Us there, and then just hear clickers everywhere. Yes, I'll have some Vegemite. Thank you. Faith Joy says, "Hey Chris, who would you like to see cast in a Super Mario Bros. Sequel? Rosalina, Daisy, Wario, Waluigi? I think Wario and Waluigi, and I think you got to set them up as like a parallel Earth, Mario and Luigi, and they're already kind of doing that with the planet jumping, and they have all the pipes. They go to different areas. You set up Wario and Waluigi as like a reverse evil version of them, and you just have them tussle." Just have them tussle, right? I used to play the Wario games a lot on the DS. You know I forget what the name of the game was, but it's just a bunch of mini games where you play as Wario. Those were a lot of fun. Peyton Rourke says, if you could see a movie when it was released in theaters, what movie would it be? Freddy versus Jason. I know it's like, why that one? Dude, that was the Versus era. That was MCU before MCU. That was two universes coming together, and that must have been an event. I would have liked to have just been in the room with like-minded fans of Freddy and Jason and experience that event together when they went at it. Because, as a kid, I thought the movie was kind of and I rewatched it like not that long ago, and I'm like, for what it is, it's still not an amazing, but for what it is, I was like pretty happy with it. I was like, dude, that would have been so cool seeing that in the theater and just having people go crazy. But that's my pick for some reason. Corbin Nay says, in honor of spooky season, what's your favorite horror movie to watch? And also Halloween tradition? You're awesome, Chris. With Halloween traditions, me and my lady just try to find whatever weird TikTok trends going on and try to do that. And we have fun with it. I know it sounds lame, but we actually have fun. One year we did the trend where people were going to like thrift shops and they were like buying old paintings, just like old paintings that like had a farm or was just like landscape or like a house. And people were just like drawing little ghosts and pumpkins and all, just like spookifying the old painting. That was a lot of fun. We did that. We just sat down, got the painting, played a scary movie, and just did that. So we always like to find some activity that does that. This year, which was the thing I was almost gonna do for Spooky Mama, but we didn't, because I just didn't know where to put it. Walmart has these like DIY pumpkin nut, which they're probably sold out now because they were like all over TikTok. And this isn't sponsored or anything. Yes, these DIY nutcrackers, pumpkin nutcrackers, they're like all white. And I just saw people on TikTok like painting them into their own version. I was like, that looks like it'd be fun. It's just the thing where we could just do that and then watch some Goosebump episodes or things like that. See, it comes all white and like that, and it lights up, and then you can paint it like this person did. She like did all this crazy colors and painting, and it does come apart, so you could easily paint it in pieces. I don't know. I thought that was cool. I thought that was a cool idea. Here's another person that did their own version of it. I was like, that's fun. So I don't know. I just like to do little uh things like that. For sure, is Goosebump episodes a lot. Twilight Zone episodes, anthology episodes is what I like. Creep Show. I just like watching little things like that. I'm starting to run out though because I'm burning through those episodes now. I'm like, I don't like rewatching all that much. But I try to do that. Obviously, scary movies, things like that. Let's see here. How do you think Alien Earth will end? Oh, what a good question. I've really been digging Alien Earth. I think it's been pretty good. I will say I'm just so curious where they are taking it or where things are going. Right now, with the latest episode, it looks like they're trying to set up for all these creatures to be let loose on the lab. That's wild. That eyeball thing they got going on is terrifying me. The way that it's on the sheep and the sheep is just like analyzing the room and watching people walk around and tilt its. Oh, dude, that sheep is scary. I have no idea how they're ending or what they're doing, but I do like the philosophy of it and this idea with the androids. There was like a great elevator scene with Timothy Olyphant's character and the cyborg in the show right now, where he's like, "Oh, you must be jealous of me." He's like, "You're an outdated model. How does it feel to work for a company that makes you irrelevant every year?" And it's like there's some good topics in there. I'm liking Alien Earth. Chris looking like a professor. Come on, guys. I just can't a guy see without squinting? I knew these were gonna take time. Carl N says it's mainly the pacing and lack of proper storytelling and character development that people are criticizing Super Mario movie about. No, you're right. That's what the Super Mario Galaxy needs to fix. And yeah, like they're not perfect. I guess like I just kind of figured since I looked at it more as like a kids movie and I had just fun with it that way. I wasn't thinking it was going to be something like groundbreaking and whatnot. But I mean, all you're right. Like the pacing is definitely that. Like the movie is just nonstop fast. Like it was made for those TikTok brains. Um, and all that. Storytelling I thought was fine. They managed to fit in so much, but maybe the character developments could have been better. I will give it that. So yeah, you're not wrong in your criticism, but I'm like, I still had fun with the movie. Hi man, love your content. Love you guys too. Love you guys too. Mara says, Papa 3C can make a request. Can you tweet when you go in live? I missed the first 25 minutes of the stream. Yeah, I could try start doing that. I'm trying to tweet less, man. It's that platform is so toxic now. I feel like I literally tweeted today with the Mario Galaxy news came. You know what? I'll pull it up. Well, no, I don't want to send the guy hate. He doesn't deserve it. But I tweeted saying when the Mario Galaxy trailer came out, and I was like, "Whoa! I feel like it's too soon for Mario Galaxy, but who cares? I'm excited. This looks awesome." And somebody uh, retweeted saying, "Always the negative one. Always gotta say something. Why can't you just enjoy it?" And I'm like, "I did. I I said I'm excited." Never happy on that platform. Never happy. I'm just but I have to keep it for the news because that's where the news hits. That's where the leaks hits. That's where I stay up to date, and that's what I got to do for your channel. But yeah, sometimes it gets to me. Mario, look at me, just unking with my glasses. Mario, also, what do you think of Paramount bidding for Warner Bros? Yeah, I gave my opinion a little second ago with someone else, but it's crazy. It is sad for also the fact that we're gonna get less because now when you do that, you're making less movies because now it's just one studio in charge of that. Um, and less competition, more people find, and I'm like, competition is good. People find and wanting to improve is better. Uh, it just sucks. It just sucks. Diego de Laurentiis. With my luck 3C, I'm going to Universal Halloween Horror Nights tomorrow, and the lines don't look like they'll calm down, making me hope for some dumb luck. I've seen people blame social media on the line wait times thoughts. It definitely is social media, buddy. I definitely think it is because, well, one, it's good because like it brings people to the event so they can have it, but so many people do it now where I think it sets this unrealistic expectation of what it is or what you're going to get from the park. And you're just bound to have a bad time because someone is just clipping their 8 hours at a theme park to condense down to 1 minute of the best stuff they did. And that's how you think you're going to have the whole time. When I mean, Florida was humid, it was a lot of line waiting, a lot of stuff. When I had a good time, I enjoyed myself. Don't get me wrong. But I think even like they've even maxed out sold of the express passes, which is like the little cheat code I use to usually have an okay time so I can go all the houses. This was the first year of Halloween Horror Nights where I was like, dude, these express passes don't feel like they expressing. I was waiting quite a while. And now that they've like maxed out and sold out, if you bought those, you're gonna be waiting a while. And I always think it's so crazy. You could spend all this money to go to the park and you have to wait like 3 hours for one house. You could go there and out of the 10 houses, you could only have time to see like two or three of them. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's just me though. That's just me. Uh Terror on Elm Street says, "Can you rank all Nightmare on Elm Streets or at least say your top few?" I'll wait on doing a full one cuz I want to give that series that I love so much a proper review series like those. I know I've been doing the thing now where I kind of condense the movies and I don't do them piece by piece. I just feel like there's a better rhythm for that, and I'm not trying to milk the views for every video. Like, oh, Final Destination 1, Final Destination 2. Not saying people who do that are doing that, but I feel like I can better explain why I love a franchise if I do them in sections. Nightmare on Elm Street, I have so much to say about every individual movie. I probably would do that one individually. As far as like my ranking, well, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is my favorite. I think Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is very underrated, and it was just a movie I like was really confused by when I watched as a kid. Not for those reasons, but I was like, I felt something was like off with Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and then when you grow up and learn that the gay undertones were on purpose, you're like, ah, The guy then getting hit in the butt with a towel was intentional. Interesting. Um, and I don't know if it's top 3. I really like Dream Child. I don't know why that movie gets a lot of flack. So many people put Dream Child at the bottom. I think Dream Child is sick. Just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. April says, for Spider-Man 4, Cemetery could be the start of the movie. Well, maybe. Yeah, like at the beginning, like, oh, let me tell you what happened, May. That would be a crazy way to start it. 3C felt something watching Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Hey, between you and me. No, I'm just great. But it's crazy watching the analyzing of that movie because you're like, oh, they weren't even subtle. Like, how was it ever even a question what they were implying or the metaphor in that movie? And then, honestly, the metaphor makes it so much better too because it's like at least it has something to say. It's not just a mindless sequel being made for no reason. At least there was like some substance in there. That's why I also really like Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Jaden Griffin says, I'm watching Dexter, and since you almost done with the series, we can agree that Dexter got randomly dumber later seasons, and it made no sense. I do agree with that. I do think Dexter got randomly less interesting and dumber. I think it's because they really wanted to humanize him more and give him more of a love interest, give him more a connection with his family. I guess I'm watching Dexter in the way I part of me feels like Dexter should have gone down the route of Breaking Bad, and I know people aren't going to agree with me on this, but where Walter White was the main character, and you sympathized with Walter White, and you rooted for him, even though you clearly knew he was in the wrong a lot. He was a bad guy, and eventually he needs to pay for everything he's done. And the series led to that, and we unraveled that, and it was so hard to watch everything Walter set up for himself unfold. I feel like Dexter should have gone that similar route because there are some unforgivable things Dexter does. I know he's got this code and he's got this vendetta, but I'm watching it and I'm going like, he just keeps getting away with it, man. Like, he can't keep getting away with it. And all these conveniences and setups, it just becomes so contrived and he's just always in the right. And I'm just like, I kind of just want to see him lean into the evil. I want him to lean in his dark passenger side more, So I don't know. That's just all. That's my thoughts. Lewis Kirk says another rumor came up about Wolverine game that the play testers play the game and they said that the game is fantastic. No pun intended. I hope it's good, man. Even with the footage I saw, understanding it's an unfinished game, I was kind of interested. Kind of cool what they were doing with it. And I hope it's good and it lives up to it, man. Because you remember the Wolverine game that came out with Wolverine Origins? Such an underrated tie-in video game. Most tie-in movie video games suck. That Wolverine game was actually a lot of fun. So if they could even just do half as nice as that, that'd be cool. Katuski Bakolgi says, hey, Chris, this is my 3rd year working at Spirit Halloween. Mine's opening late, and I'll let you use my discount. Let me know if you need that light-up Chucky. Hey, yeah, if you find it, let me know, buddy. You in Dallas? You in Texas? Let me know. Did you see they're adding Sonic to Fortnite? I did see the rumor. I cannot wait to see what they make Sonic look like because they have to make every player a certain height. So it's going to be Sonic with like really long legs. It's going to look a little funny, but hey, I think they could pull it off. Doom suit looks mid. Hey, I don't think so. I like the suit. I think it looks cool, but hey, we're all entitled to our opinion. I think the chainmail and medieval vibes really give it a nice look, but hey, I understand. Hey, Peter says, thoughts on the theory that Doom is actually the hero of Doomsday and gets support from many heroes and villains because right now he's here is because Cap staying with Peggy caused the universe and family to die. Okay, I don't believe the last part. I don't think Cap being with Peggy is what causes all these incursions. No, there's been so many other things to cause it. That being the thing, no. And even in the TVA, they said, oh, what Steve and them did is fine. So the TVA has approved and been okay with Steve Rogers time traveling and everything they did in Infinity War and Endgame. The TVA was like, that doesn't disrupt our universe or anything. That's fine. The time traveling you did, though, Loki, can't have that. I do believe the part that Doom is the hero. I think what ends up happening is it's almost going to be kind of like with what happened in the Fantastic Four, where, again, the Fantastic Four had the chance to save Earth right away by giving up Franklin. They didn't do that, and it put them in a really hard position where it's like, well, we got to find an alternate way, and they were this close to letting their planet die. I think Doom is going to take that same train of thought, knowing the multiverse is collapsing. Something's got to happen where they probably have to destroy the planet coming to them before the planet hit, kind of like in the comics. That's what happens, is like they say, like, well, these planets are about to collide. If we just destroy this planet, we'll keep going and no one hits us. I think Doom will have that same train of thought where he's like, Fantastic Four proved they are not going to save us when they can. I, Doom, will make the sacrifices when needed. It's something like that. But I don't think it'll be because of Peggy and Steve Rogers. Stone Cold says, Doom looks like a big piece of trash to me. Oh, Stone Cold. Never meet your heroes. I don't even watch wrestling. Hey man, I guess some people just don't like the Doom suit. All right, you're being honest. You're being honest. One of the okay, now I'm starting to think this is the same guy with his alt accounts. 3 back-to-back crappy Doom suits. Where's the? This is the same guy using alt accounts. I just can't prove it yet. Tonight's the night. I'll message my YouTube contents to figure this out. Hey, if you think so. All right. Suit look mid. Big old trash. Worst Doom suit. I think they're the same person. I don't know. Might be. We'll see. We'll find out. I hope Doom suit won't look like that in the movie. I mean, that's also just a promotional image. It'll probably look better. As well, it already looks good, but it could look better in live action, or in motion, I should say. Peyton Rourke says, I thought I would want it to be Thanos, but I think they would make it impactful if it was all stone Thanos, and Thanos where he had one killed the Avengers impactful. I guess so, if he has like a whole Infinity Gauntlet, yes, but I mean, again, they're like overusing that trope. Even in the Marvel zombie trailer, they have zombie Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. But you know, it could still be. What happened to Ted season 2? Oh, it's happening. I think they finished filming it. Now they just gotta, well, piece it together. I mean, remember, Ted is a CGI character in that show. That VFX is gonna take time. So I'm pretty sure they filmed it. They finished. We're probably just in post-production. Maybe get an announcement of it in December. I remember when I first heard of that Ted show, and I was like, what is this gonna be? One of the most funniest comfort watching shows. Really reminds you of old Family Guy. Great Seth MacFarlane humor. Tons of laughs. I cannot wait for season 2. Lewis Kirk says, Economos spitting on Tim Meadows was funny and well-deserved. That was a crazy part of that episode. Who just spits on another man? Chris, you should put Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur on your watch list. It's a really great Marvel show. All 2 seasons are on Disney+. Maybe someday. Thank you, Clamshell. Psy Mystery says, who would win in a fight? You versus Soups versus Sean Chandler. Well, let me tell you, I believe Soups and Sean both hit the gym. I hit the fridge. A fridge is a lot tougher because it's made of steel, so I would win. Logan says 3C lore on wanting to leave a movie early. Ooh. Well, nowadays I try not to do that because like I have a job to do, you know, and if that's the worst day of my job seeing a bad movie, I will suffer through for you guys, right? But it happens. I mean, I'd want to leave so many times. Well, sometimes. I mean, what would be the lures? I'm just extremely bored. When I get bored in a movie, I start counting the tiles on the ceiling. I don't know how many of you guys have done that, but next time you're in your movie theater, when the trailers are playing or whatever, just look up and see that there's tiles, and I'll just start counting them. I'll go. I don't do the thing where I count them one by one. I do the math trick where it's like, okay, row of 7, and then there's 11, but that's a half one. Do I count that one? Maybe there's another half one. That way I can count it as a whole. Oh, dang, someone just died in the movie. What happened? That's what I do. That's what I do. Terror on Elm Street says, how bad is 2010 Elm Street? Only one I haven't seen. Is it good enough for it to be worth it? It's just uninspiring. It's Jackie Earle Haley is not to be blamed. They needed to give him better stuff to do. It's a recreation. I've seen people who have never seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street end up really liking the remake. And again, because it takes a lot of the similar beats, and it's just a cool concept of a guy who comes back and haunts your dreams. But it has the same vibe and feel of like a Night Swim, Imaginary, these like very generic, nothing horror movies that come out today. Um, so just not for me. I wanted it to be something. That was another movie I was like hyped about back in the day. I was like, it's gonna be so good. Ashlyn Custom says, bro, now Peter Chris Parker looks for Lois. This is worse than the time I went to the zoo. Ah, that's a pretty lion. Those are hippos, Peter. Oh. And then that's cutscene to the house, and then the next thing goes on. There you go. A real life Family Guy cutscene on 3C Live. Dalton Wayne says, dude, I started a YouTube channel because of you. Def and inspo for my videos. Thanks. Videos so far. Thank you. Oh, no problem. Hey, I'm happy to be an inspiration. If I can do this, you can do this too. I just ask that you just inspire movies. Always give your opinion. Never, just don't base your channel on hate. That's the thing I hate more. It's like if I inspire you to have your channel, well, then have fun and make it a fun place. I think we have too many negative channels. It's nice to have people that actually celebrate and are excited for movies. Because nowadays, people be like, they see you excited for the movie and they go, chill. What do you mean you're excited for a film, weirdo? Who paid you? What? What happened to people loving movies? Bro looks like John Campion. No! No! How could you say that to me? How could you mummer those words into my chat? I have to. I need to see. All right. You guys are going to make me change these glasses out. I think they look nice. Okay. Thoughts on Twisted Metal Season 2. I talked about it last week. Like I said, I enjoyed the season to a point, and I think the last 2 episodes really ran it to the ground a little bit, where I was just kind of disinterested, and I'm 50-50 if I want to watch season 3. But everything before the last 2 episodes, I thought that was really fun, really cool how they were tying in some of the tournament stuff, all the character things they were doing. It was like a guilty pleasure fun show. I was just again kind of the last 2 episodes, I was just I think they kind of I don't say ruined it, but they kind of just flattened it. Michael Thompson says, you missed Super Chat sent before the stream began. Oh, lordy. Oh, lordy. I hate when that happens. Let's see here. Let's see. We have one from Ray that said, okay, so I'm going to leave this here. One from Ray that said, what makes or breaks a movie being a 3C guarantee? I mean, a 3C guarantee to me is just like a movie I just loved. I know some people mean oh, you guarantee everyone will like it. No, it's not that much. It's my version of Awesome Tacular, or what did Stuckman do? 8+, or what, did he have a higher one? I don't know if he did a higher one. It's just my highest grade of I just love that movie. And you might love it too. You might not. I know some people think I've overglazed some. I've seen, and I like it when you guys are honest with me. Some people said I overglazed Creed 3 because I believe I gave Creed 3 3C guarantee. But dude, I love the Rocky franchise. I love that series, and I thought they finally gave Adonis his own perfect villain up to the level of Ivan Drago. It just sucks that it had to be with Jonathan Majors with everything that's happened, because I would have liked to have seen more movies where they became Apollo and Rocky to each other and continued that on. I really liked Creed 3, but some people were like, you overglazed that one. I mean, there are also times where I give a review and then months later I'm like, maybe I was too nice on that. I think Thor: Love and Thunder, when that came out, I still kind of just said, it's fine to watch in theaters if you want. But I think if I after sitting on it with so long, I'd just be like, no. I just be like, you can rent it, or pretty close to avoiding, But there isn't really something that makes or breaks it. I just have to love the movie. I just have to really be into it. Let's see here. We had one from Carl N says, should Super Mario Galaxy be split in 2-part story? I don't know what you do with a third movie. You know what? Maybe that is the answer, Carl. Maybe that's exactly what they do, is Mario Galaxy is a part 1, and then part 2 is more Mario Galaxy. Here's the other galaxy. That's not a bad idea. Snow L. Jackson says, Like you did before, can you review the recent movies you've seen that you haven't reviewed on the channel? Yeah, I could do that. There hasn't really been any new ones since the last time I did it, but I definitely plan to do that with like horror movies because I did that last year where it was just like did like a bunch of horror movies that came out this year, and I'll review them for you guys. Let's see here. Michael Thompson says, "Hey Chris, do you think James Gunn ever sleeps? He's too prolifically being a creative himself and running DC Studios creative department not to." Well, funny enough, you mentioned that because I didn't know this, but some people had brought it up. There was an interview or something James Gunn said that he was an alcoholic, and to battle that, he traded alcoholism for writing. And so his work is his addiction. And if he's not doing that, it puts him on, going back on his thing. So thinking it like that, I guess that makes sense why he's so deep into his work, why that's what he does and what he's focused on, because addiction compulsion. So I like when I see it like that, it makes sense. And if the quality starts dipping, then definitely we have to have a conversation of James. Start taking some of your time, buddy. But everybody works differently. Matt Reeves, he took like 5 years to make a Batman and all that. And even before with the Batman, the first one, I remember reading reports that Warner Brothers was like, dude, this guy's taking forever. So it was just commonly known with Reeves. Some people take long, some people I don't know. It's just what it happens. David Jordan says, thank you, Chris, for being you. Oh, thank you, David. Thank you. DJ Sheher says DC Red Hood series canceled. Thoughts? There was a Red Hood series, like comic wise or a show? I'll be honest. I love the Red Hood story, but I was never a big fan of Red Hood becoming part of the Bat family and in that world and all that. I get he's a popular character and enjoyed, and I know some people are gonna eat at me for that. I feel like Red Hood was just more of a good one and done story kind of thing. But hey, that's just been my opinion. It's been my opinion. Have you seen the trailer for Knights of Genevieve, the Dan Terrence? The pilot comes out on the 19th. I have not seen that. Oh wait, is that the Margot Robbie sexy movie? You know what I'm talking about? Is that what that is? That movie looked kinky. I was watching that and I was like, what I live? What's happening? Is that movie that? No, it is not. That's a completely different thing. You guys have seen the trailer for that Margot Robbie thing, though, right? I can't play it, but it's basically 50 Shades of Grey, but if it was in like the not even like it was in the 1720s or something. Tis a crazy. It was Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, but this is what popped up when I saw it, and I was like, yeah, I don't think that's what I was thinking. That's not what I was thinking. Okay. We have here a read. The channel editor says, editing Halloween Horror Nights. Hope everything is okay. And no matter what you believe in, we should do it in a way to understand one another. God bless. Oh, so nice of you to say, Reed. So nice of you. And then Chucky LaBoo-Boo. We caught up. Chucky LaBoo-Boo is where we left off. Okay, so thank you guys. Caught up on those. I hate when the system does that. Tagged you in an X post. Pattinson in the DCU maybe. Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the stream. Gave my thoughts. James Gunn's comment on it. I think we're exactly where we started. Tinninson says, thoughts on Demon Slayer, Papa? Okay. So I like anime, but I also have not seen enough of it. I watch mainly the mainstream stuff. One Punch, Attack on Titan, Dragon Ball Z. What is it? My Hero Academia. I saw what was that? Death Note. I've seen Death. I love Death Note. But Demon Slayer is also one I never got to see. Okay. So I haven't seen it. I want to check it out now. The thing that I do want to talk about with Demon Slayer, though, is this insane box office pull it's about to do, guys. Dude, this is going to shift Hollywood for a sec. They're going to turn their heads and they're going to pay attention to this because it says here, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, this new movie that's coming out this weekend, are still wild. Forecasts are still wild, but anime opening record is definite. The movie is going to be opening with like a 60 plus weekend. I think that is insane for an anime. That's a big deal, y'all. That's a really big deal. You're going to see executives get on the phone talking about, can we do live action Demon Slayer? Who has the rights to that? Can we make that movie? You're going to see other people wanting to back other animated ones. Whoever got the Dragon Ball Z stuff, they got to get forward and release another Dragon Ball Z movie. Animated one. I'd love a live action, but it'd be animated. That's kind of crazy, and it also just shows you where audiences are at this time and how many people are watching this stuff. Like, I knew Demon Slayer was popular and people liked it. I did not know it would be that popular to have that kind of an impact. So that's awesome. Definitely does make me want to like check it out to see what all this hype is. But I'm not gonna watch the movie because I need to watch the show. I tried looking in to see if I could watch the movie without watching the show, and everything I was seeing was like, "You gonna be lost. You need to watch the show." I was like, "Okay," but it's kind of crazy. But no, yeah, sorry. Unfortunately, never watched an episode. Model test says, help there, Chris. Help there, Chris. How are you? Also, if you were a story writer, what kind of story would you make and why? I definitely want to make a horror movie. I've given my pitch for that evil Bugs Bunny movie, which is probably terrible, but I need to tweak it. And I just want to start with short films. I want to give it a shot. I just want to try. Even if I suck, at least then I'll know I suck and I can just keep doing this is what I'm doing. But if I never try, man, I'll always regret it. Are you doing a Demon Slayer review? Unfortunately not, my friend. Unfortunately not. Unfiltered Cold Milk says, "Can you tell Sensei Blake to come back from Aussie?" If I understood the reference, I'd tell it, my friend. Your profile picture scares the crap out of me, by the way. Uh, y'all got bears? Oh yeah, we got bears. So is that what Australia fears of us? So y'all have the koalas, tarantulas, kangaroos. I saw a TikTok of like a guy who came down in a parachute skydiving, and a kangaroo just started beating him up for no reason. And I'm like, that's what happening? Kangaroos just fighting y'all? Yeah, we got bears, but if you go looking for them, ain't no bear gonna walk through my door saying, "Where's your porridge?" It's right there, next to the door hinge. It's orange. It's crazy, but can Spider-Man Brand New Day make more than Doomsday? The possibility is there depending on that first trailer, my friend. Because right now, I mean, Disney is in a spot where their movies just aren't hitting those numbers they'd like. Thunderbolts, Brave New World, even Fantastic Four did not do as amazing as they would like. We're living in a real possibility that, yes, Doomsday will probably hit 1 billion. But last Spider-Man movie made 2 billion, right? It was like 1.9, almost 2 billion. Sure, it had Toby and Andrew. Sure, that was a big deal, but that was also during COVID. I think, yeah, there's a real argument to be made. Depending on the look of Spider-Man Brand New Day and what they're selling to audiences, there could be a world where Brand New Day makes as much or about the same as Doomsday. There is a world. Keys sends in some love. Thank you so much. DJ Sheher says, "Will you stream on Halloween since it's on Friday?" I believe, yeah, I saw that. I noticed that, yes, and I have to plan something, man. I can't just do a regular stream on Halloween. I got to plan something. It's also going to be weird, though, because I'm going to have little kids knocking at my door. Well, barely. I'll have like 5 kids, but still. I needs to give them their candy. It is tradition. If not, the evil little trick-or-treat Sam will come for me. ECAT says, "Hey, Crispy, my brother is going to the Navy next week. Shout out to my brother. His name is Raphael Wolf. Thanks, man. You rock. Did you hear the new song from Amy Lee from Evanescence called End of You?" No, Evanescence has a new song? Mm, I haven't heard that name in a long time. How can you see into my heart like open door? Eric Morales says, "Do you want Spider-Man anime style series?" I'd watch it. I'd watch it. I'd give it a shot. Peyton Rorick says, "Hey, Chris, I would just like to apologize for what I said earlier in the stream. It was not right. And I'm also very sorry to the chatters as well. The chat says that I should be banned. Nah, you shouldn't be banned. I respected how you felt and what you thought. And I just moved on from there, buddy. I just didn't want to spend too much time on it since it's a hot subject. But yeah, you're fine, Peyton. Adventures with Parker and Dad said, "When do you think the trailer for Scream 7 will release?" If I had to make my guess, well, Daniel RPK, who's usually spot on with trailer stuff, but I wonder if he's just saying what I heard and then is using that as a source, which I hope not, and I think he's probably not. Said it was in September, so any second now, hopefully. If not, then I really guess it's going to be with Running Man in November, if not Black Phone 2 in October. First day in October would also be a crazy time just to start Halloween. Karate Kick 40 says, would you rate each video game villain based on how they were in their movie adaptation? How would you rate each video game villain based on how they were? Well, I mean, give me a list, buddy. I'm just gonna think off the top of my head. So what, like the pig from Minecraft and Jack Black Bowser? I'm imagining it and I can't see. I'm trying to think of like the best one. Oh, you know what? No questions asked. Jim Carrey Robotnik. Eggman. Maybe not as accurate, but dude, that was a great 3 run. The way he did that character, the fun he had with it. And even when we got to the end in the 3rd movie, oh, you're no Maria. The Jim Carrey one. Edric Garcia says, do you think in Brand New Day they would introduce a Kang variant that will be the main villain? Will Brand New Day be half street level and half multiverse? I think there's going to be a tinge of multiverse somewhere in there. I feel unfortunately they're going to have to sneak that in, but it would hopefully be mainly street level. As far as a Kang variant, no, not in Brand New Day. Maybe Doomsday. I just saw like some report, but I don't even know if I believe the source that Kang would show up in Doomsday. I think you already gave Kang an ending with Loki season 2. You don't even need to address him. Hey Chris, first ever super chat. You think Peacemaker will end on a happy note or cliffhanger? And do you think DC will ever make a Cyborg project? I think there has to be some sort of happy ending or some sort of realization with Chris Peacemaker where he's like, my universe ain't so bad. Things aren't always greener on the other side. I don't know, something like that. It could be a cliffhanger. I'll be honest though, I don't think we're gonna get Peacemaker season 3. I think, not to say we're done with Peacemaker. I think Peacemaker is still involved. I think you move Peacemaker now to the movies. I think you work either to give him his own film where he has an ensemble team, or he just starts making cameo appearances in places, like more supporting roles, not just the cameo and Superman, but like more of a supporting role doing something. He's becoming much more of a popular character. I think just relegating him to TV might be a bit of a waste. Might be. Cyborg Project would be cool, but I think he'd probably be safe for Teen Titans. Will you make a movie review for Tron? Yeah, I'm gonna see Tron, the new one. I've been thinking about how I'm gonna do like an intro or a costume for that. But yeah. Tony Movie Chappie D9 Neil Blomkamp fan. Wow, that's a handful. Any hopes on a new Nightmare on Elm Street reboot? Do you think that it's a bit difficult since the Craven Estate own it? But I've heard someone that New Line may have finally got the rights back. Yeah, that's been from the mummers we hear. The Craven Estate got the rights back, but they only have the rights to the domestic Nightmare on Elm Street. The international rights for Nightmare on Elm Street are with New Line at Warner Brothers. And so, yes, they could technically make a deal with like Paramount, Netflix, or whatnot. But at the end of the day, they still, if they wanted to go international, they have to make a deal with New Line Warner Brothers. So they might as well just partner with Warner Brothers, since that way they can complete the rights. But the other rumors I've heard about it is that the Craven Estate wants way too much money for making the movies or paying the people to do it. And while I get thinking Freddy Krueger is like this gigantic pop icon, because most people know Freddy Krueger, he has not proven the box office on that very much, unless it was like Freddy versus Jason. I think we need to be a little realistic with expectations on that first and then go into it. But I just want it to happen, man. What age did you stop trick-or-treating? Okay, maybe that was the real embarrassing. This isn't a joke. This is not funny. I remember, because I thought to myself, we should not be trick-or-treating. Freshman in high school. Freshman in high school was the last year I went trick-or-treating. I didn't want to grow up. For reasons you can clearly see nowadays, I did not want to grow up. And I did. It was just me and my 2 friends. He was dressed in a Winnie the Pooh onesie. I don't even know what costume I wore, but we got way too many. Ain't you a little old for this? How old are you? You still doing this? And I was like, yeah, I guess this is the last year I'm trick-or-treating. So, yeah, freshman in high school, 14. Oh, look at that. I've created such a good group. Oh, so you guys will call me Four Eyes and Unk and all this, but I tell you when I stop trick or treating and you hit me with all these. Here we go. Let me just. You hit me with all these right here. That's normal, bro. Live your life, dude. You're never too old to trick or treat. That's nothing. I hate y'all. Y'all's priorities. He's got glasses. Ha! Trick or treating at 14, dude. That's okay. You're weird for thinking that's weird. Be consistent. That's okay. That's funny. Uh, Missed my first two super chats made before the stream. Yeah, I caught up to them. Thank you for letting me though. DM'd you on Insta about the light up Chucky. Oh, I'll be looking into that. Thank you for letting me know. Peyton Rorick says, was there a time where you liked the movie and walked out at the end, but everybody else hated it? I've done that so many times. Dude, okay, well, also, is that though? Because I think it is just a bubble with Alien Romulus. Because if we look at Alien Romulus on the good old Rotten Tomatoes, but 80% critic score, 85 audience. To me, that means that's a pretty definitive, positively enjoyed movie. But those 20% on either side that didn't like it were pretty vocal. And yeah, I agree. When I walked out and I loved Alien Romulus, I went online. I was like, people think it's slop? People think it's crap? There's some where like I know I'm going to enjoy, but most people, there's going to be that group that just hate it. Like Deadpool and Wolverine. I knew going in that I'd probably have a good time with it, but I also knew there's going to be people who hate it either way. Same as Superman, right? As far as like any other movie where I did walk out like, dude, that was awesome. And I'm like, how come nobody else thinks it's awesome? I'm trying to think. I can't think of what was another one. Oh, that's a good one. Someone just said in the chat. The Flash. I did. All you guys know, not the big fan of Ezra Miller, all the controversies I was putting aside. I just was excited. Michael Keaton, all this stuff in there. I thought the movie was cool. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Did I overglaze a little? Maybe. But I watched it and I was like, yo, some of y'all acting like this is Fan Four Stick, like this is Jonah Hex, or like this is freaking what's another old bad comic book movie out there? I don't even know. But I was like, but again, it's not worth defending. It's like, hey, that's fine. You forgot the power glove. Love Nightmare on Elm Street. Evan says, what should they do with Squid Game USA? Oh yeah, I have a video on the Clips channel where I do I list some of the games, I think, but it should definitely be based on American games. It should also not be called Squid Game USA. You need to name it after an actual playground game in America, whether Red Rover, Duck Duck Goose, I don't know, something like that, Hopscotch, something. But yeah, stuff like that. I can't wait to see it. I'm interested, and it'd be nice to finally watch it without the subtitles all not matching the mouth. We have to get out of here. That was my best impression. Joseph Snow says, I am hoping Mr. Mixerplex might be revealed teased at the end of Peacemaker season 2 and could be the setup for Man of Tomorrow as a potential big bad. I really hope not. We have all been begging for Brainiac, and we think it's going to be Brainiac, but I think the common choice is what James Gunn hates. I think the thing that he thinks we expect to happen is the very thing he doesn't want to happen, because he wants to, subvert us and give us what we don't know what we wanted. And that is a perfect James Gunn move right there. We all, or majority of us, want Brainiac to be the bigger threat that they fight in Man of Tomorrow. I feel like that makes sense. There's a lot you could do there. Why wouldn't Lex Luthor want to challenge his own mind against this superior intelligent alien mind? He'd see that as a genuine reason to team up with Superman and test his own mind, right? I feel like there's so many cool things you could do there. But I just think James Gunn would also be like, yeah, but that's what people expect. So how about Mr. Mixie, Mr. Dig? I don't know. It's just such an odd villain with the white hair and the orange suit and all that. I don't know. It's a curveball. Mr. Dig, he's digging for something. I don't know. It would definitely, it screams James Gunn though. It does definitely scream James Gunn. You can silence all of us and all that. Just call him Mr. M. Yeah, Mr. M I think would be good. Mr. Mitchaplex, Batmite 2 would be another crazy one. What is this photo? Who is that guy? Mr. M? Oh, was that the Supergirl version? Well, that's a version, all right. That's interesting. We have here thoughts on the Total Recall remake. Very underrated, underappreciated remake, especially the director's cut that deserves more love and praise. Sort of like Black Christmas 2006. I remember like being okay with the Total Recall remake, the one that had he plays the Colin Farrell. Uh, but I made the well, not the mistake. I made the right choice of watching the Arnold Schwarzenegger version before that movie, knowing it was a remake, and I wanted to be aware of the differences. Dude, that Arnold one just cannot be beat. That was such a cool, awesome movie. And the new one, just like, again, it was a remake. So it just hit on those similar beats, just with more modern tech. It is still good, but I think it's good if you haven't seen the Arnold version. Because it's like, oh, you get to just experience that movie again. I do like the Black Christmas remake, though. Snow Jackson says, "Do you think Trick or Treat will ever get a sequel at some point, dude? Guarantee you, in about a week or two, we're about to get an article that says Trick or Treat sequel on the horizon. Just waiting on the script. Just waiting on this." For the past 4, 5, maybe 6 years, every year it's Trick or Treat sequel coming soon. Trick or Treat sequel coming soon. Never happens. I would love it though. I think there's so much you could do with the Sam character, so much fun you could have, even staying off of the anthology. Even if you stick it to the anthology route, that could be fun. But you never know. Michael Tom Six says Chris versus Nick Avocado. Who's winning? Who's always 2 steps ahead? Nick is. He's already defeated me before I've stepped up. Mr. Des says, I am sleeping. Have to work at 3 a.m. Will watch the live after. You look better with glasses. Can you see if I send you a super message in my main account, Mr. Oh, yeah, I have to. You sitting on me, but for you, no problem. Oh, thank you. You complimented me just to help you out, huh, buddy? I see your game. Alex Aguilar says, "Here's a tip on watching Demon Slayer. Watch season 1, then watch. Oh, I'm gonna screenshot this. Then watch Magoon Train movie because it's season 2 in one film, and then you can watch the rest." Oh, tis a hack. I like that. Thank you. I just screenshotted that, and I'm saving that. Fave Haunter Halloween Horror Nights house. Oh, I tell you in the vlog. You have to wait for the vlog. I'll tell you one house. It wasn't my favorite, but I really liked it. The Dollhouse one. There was this dollhouse where it's basically evil Toy Story. And it was so sick. Dolls Let's Play Dead. Is that what it was called? All these AI images that pop out now. Dolls Let's Play Dead. That was a cool house. It's basically twisted Toy Story. You're basically thrown into this little girl's room, and everything is giant sized, almost like Ant-Man. That was a cool house. I like that one a lot. Just look at this twisted Barbie doll in there. It was cool in there. I liked it. I definitely want another live action Dragon Ball Z movie. I enjoyed the 2009 Evolution movie. It should be its own live action universe. I'm not gonna lie, even if I would have watched every single sequel spin-off if it was its own universe. That's how much of a shill I am for Dragon Ball. So I kind of get you there, buddy, but I need a reboot, and I need it done right. We have the technology to do it. Get Zack Snyder on it. Just don't let him write. Nightmare Aiden says, I'm gonna make some fan art for you. Your funny intros have been very influential for sure. Once I get them done, would it be cool if I post it on the Reddit? Of course. Or where's the right place to share? Let me know. Yes, on the Reddit, please. I'd love to see it. I get a big kick out of that stuff. Ape Ross says, I watched Dogma last night. Highly recommend it. The Kevin Smith Dogma? I like that movie too. I enjoyed it. I didn't understand it as a kid. I was like, what? And I watched it a few years back and I was like, oh, this is This is quite well. Where's this Kevin Smith? Snow L. Jackson says, thoughts on Leonardo DiCaprio saying his goal right now is to make another film with Martin Scorsese. I say, let him. He does some of his best work when he works with Martin. Let him. Missed one of my super chats. Which one was it, Terror? Which one was it, Terror? You forgot. No, I did it. You forgot the Power Glove? I did that one. Or, oh, was it this one? You should also review the different designs of Freddy 2. Costume, makeup, glove in a video. Oh, like Freddy Krueger. Sorry, I was over here thinking Freddy Fazbear. See, that's another thing. Freddy's been so gone. When you guys say Freddy to me, I assume you mean Freddy Fazbear. Makes me sad as a Freddy fan, man. That would be a cool video. 3C always 3C always love and look forward to your Spookamama set videos. It makes me decorate my house too. Hey, that's what I like to see. That's what, you know what? Maybe I should do that one day. You know, next week, if you want to submit in whenever you start decorating your houses or your spooky setups or anything, that could be a fun thing to scroll through the Reddit. Thoughts on Curry Baker's? Oh, dude. Great how YouTubers are getting movie deals back. Dude, I was just reading about him, and it's funny because he's a fan. He's a fan of the channel, which I'm like, dude, why are all these talented people a fan? I feel like such a fraud when they can do all this stuff. If you guys don't know, Curry Bakers, he has a great channel. Oh, who the heck is this? He has a great channel on YouTube where he usually does some skit comedy. I think he has a couple of short films on there. I think it's called This Is a Bad Idea. I think his name is A Bad Idea. Yeah, there we go. That's a bad idea. There we go. And great guys, like I said, they are a fan of my channel. They followed me on TikTok. That's where I found them, through TikTok, just their little TikTok skits. They were really funny. And then they followed me and they messaged me saying, hey, we love what you do. I was like, oh, thanks. And they made the Milk and Cereal horror movie that like blew up. Well, the reason we're bringing this up, they're another example of people who started on YouTube, worked their way up, and then he just sold his movie for like $10 million. A movie called Obsession, which is premiering at Fantastic Fest, so I'll actually be watching it in the coming week, and I'll have a review for you guys. But this is inspiring stuff, man. Being around Chris Stuckman, which I got to finish that vlog I did with him. Being around Chris Stuckman and what he did, where he came from, very similar. It's so inspiring. It shouldn't just be inspiring for me, like for you watching. Like, it's put a camera, say your thoughts, build an audience. You don't need to have an agent. You don't need to have Poppy working in Hollywood. Like, you can just become who you've dreamed of through just being yourself online. Like, I think that's so inspirational and cool. So I'm looking forward to his movie. I definitely am envious, but in like a proud way, of what these, because even looking at like the Backrooms guy who's like 20, the youngest A24 director, it makes you go like, I'm 30 and talking about Goon. I need to fix myself. So yeah, no, I'm excited for that movie, and I can't wait to check it out. Let's see here. Have you seen the 12-episode anime Chainsaw Man? It's the last arc of the movie coming out. I think it's a horror vibe, and I would be up your alley. I do want to check that out. I think I saw like the first 5 minutes, and then I got distracted. Not because of the show, but because something, I think like a news story came out as I was watching. I was like, oh, pause. Have to go make a video. And then I just forgot to go back. But yeah, I do want to watch Chainsaw Man. A Mario multiverse movie meeting Paper Mario. Have all the Marios across the galaxy unite? Say that again. Any chance for Tron movie review of 1982 and Lega? Oh, was it the sequel? Maybe. I'll think about it. I just don't know if I'd have that much interesting to say then. Look how cool this looks. Ain't it cool? This soundtrack bumping. I probably would have more to say, but I think about it. I think about it. Omar Mateus says, you think Superman 2 will lead into Justice League Begins? I think we have to get Wonder Woman and Batman Brave and the Bold, and then we're ready for Justice League. And it looks like James Gunn is trying to get that done because he's like super fast on Wonder Woman. It seems like he's trying to figure out Batman Brave and the Bold, but although we don't see much progress, I think once those two are out, then we jump to Justice League. All right, we are done. We are finished with today's live stream. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by this Friday and talking with me, being civil, being kind, just celebrating. We need that kind of stuff lately. I know it. So I love you guys' faces. Look out for more content and things happening on the channel soon. Y'all are amazing people. Don't forget how much I love y'all. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one.